comfy now? You got your
I are.
you got your ducks in a row.
I do.
Ducks do walk in a row. You notice that?
They do.
Like a perfect row.
Have you ever seen?
They really have their
you know,
ducks in
like-
a row.
Like, have you ever seen that video where the mama duck's walking and all the little baby ducks just kind of fall out in the drain behind her
Yeah.
because they're following her? She can get over the drain because she's big, you know. Little baby ducks just fall down in the sewer.
Where I drive to work, there's a stretch that you drive right next to the waterway, so you see a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
wildlife. And one day, traffic on coming both ways was stopped.
Because of
They were
ducks.
waiting on a family of ducks to walk across the road to get to the water. It was kind of cute. I was like, oh, look at the little babies.
Little baby duckies. So, like, we're kind of lost on what to talk about because, you know, with the virus, we haven't really. Nobody's done anything.
Well, I want to pose a question to you because I was at Robbie Ross's house last night recording tracks for the new Kill J album.
Yeah.
Did some vocals. We made some good progress. And me and him were just sitting around, you know, right when I got there. He had grilled and stuff, so we were like just bullshitting. I was eating, and I posed a question to him I want to pose to you. And I heard something today that actually makes me feel better about this. But I was asking him, like, once this is all over with, and they just say, all right, everything's fine now. As far as what, like, we do is in the entertainment business, like playing music, playing shows, playing gigs, going to clubs, bars, venues, you know, that's all just obsolete right now. When it turns back on and everything's a go, do you think it's going to be a slap back of people that are repressed and just ready to just
I
chomp
think
into
it
bits to
might.
get
I
out?
think it's
and there's this
possible.
huge surgeons, or B, which would be the worst. Will this be kind of a new status quo when people just got used to it and
Yeah.
it takes
and
a
they're
hit?
sitting at home now.
I don't
and they're
know.
saying, well, I kind of like sitting at home.
But what I heard
I think
today,
you get a chance of both of it happening.
it could go either way. I
But
think.
yeah, I mean, you get a chance of everybody. Like some people maybe just be relaxing, and they're like, "Hey, I kind of like this relaxing life."
Or even if they don't like it, you
Or-
kind of get used to a certain thing, and it
Mhm.
becomes your routine.
yeah, and
Whether
is it
you,
going to become?
even if you don't like, I mean, think about people that have a routine they don't like, but they do it every day.
Yeah,
Like
and
they
it
hate
might
their
just
job
become their
or-
routine to like, okay, let's just sit at home. Let's order food and bring it back home rather than going to a restaurant and sitting down. Or let's watch Netflix rather than going out to a bar.
Yeah, they just get it. They just get used to
Yeah, I
just
get
being
that. I get
quarantined.
that.
That becomes the new status quo for them. I hope that's not the case. I hope it's option A. I hope that the floodgates just burst open, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, I'll never take this for
I
granted
got a
again."
feeling at the beginning it may be. There may be a lot of people that's just so, because like me, I've been stir crazy. I mean, there's days I've just been like, God, I want to go somewhere. But you know, the mall open. I don't know this for sure, but I heard the mall opened back up yesterday in Tupelo.
I don't know. I hadn't heard.
I heard it had because somebody had said
That
there
would
was a whole bunch of
surprise
cars
me.
out there,
That would surprise us because stores still say 10 people or less on the windows.
and it may still at the mall. Well, you know, for each store, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but you've got that huge common area.
But
in
you
the
think
middle.
about that. But let's think about it compared, like with Walmart. Like I went to Walmart today, first time I've been in
There's
a while.
more than 10 people in there at a time.
And there's like, I mean, it's just like Walmart, everyday Walmart. I mean, and they got the little stripes telling you where to walk.
It's more
and
like
shit,
Apocalypse Walmart.
But I mean, it's still. I mean, like, well, everybody like it is kind of weird to walk around and
Do
see
you get a weird
everybody
vibe in
wearing
there?
those
I've been there
masks.
as few times as possible.
Yeah, I haven't. This is the second time I've been there since the whole thing started. This is only the
That's
second
about how
time
many.
I've been to
That's about
Walmart.
how many times I've been, and that was out of.
And I was actually
complete
sitting here
necessity.
debating, and that, if there wouldn't have been stuff that I absolutely had to have, like I wouldn't have gone to Walmart. I was sitting there debating on whether to go to Dollar General.
I've gone
or
to
somewhere.
smaller stores like Dollar General.
Yeah,
Because
but
there's
like,
like this Dollar General up the road. There's usually hardly ever anybody in there.
Yeah, but there was some stuff that I absolutely had to have today.
We're playing D&D
from
at your house
Walmart.
tomorrow. Do you have toilet paper?
We are, and I do. I checked last night to make sure. You know, I buy the nice, fancy, big rolls, like
You
the
do?
48 pack rolls and stuff. And I went today. I was gonna get some, just to have some extra, but like they didn't have the kind I use, and I'm picky about toilet paper, man. So But I checked my cabinet, and I've got a brand new roll I just put out, and I think I've got 2 more in the cabinet. So I'm good for another 2 weeks at least.
But going back to my original question, what I heard today on a podcast that I was listening to, and I didn't fact check this, but I mean I have no reason to. It
Doubt
sounds
whoever it
about
was.
right, but they said that the Renaissance era happened right after the Black Plague,
Like everybody's sitting at home thinking up stuff to invent.
and that was a huge time in all creativity, music, literature,
well, I
theater.
mean, let's think about it.
Art.
Let's
Like
think.
the Renaissance era was like when all the big artsy stuff happened.
Well, let's think about it that way. All right. Say you decide, say forever you've been thinking, oh man, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. Whatever kind of book it is. Like, but your whole life you've been talking about writing a book. Well, if you work 55 hours a week and you've got children and you've got this going on and that going on, you're married and all that, and you don't have time. Like, okay. So all of a sudden you're off of work for a month. You've got absolutely nothing going on. You can't go anywhere for entertainment. So what is to say you keep you from sitting down on your laptop and writing that book that you've been thinking about writing for years, or
Yeah, that checks
or
out.
music?
I just
a
googled
song or whatever.
it. I just googled it. Black Death occurred from 13. Well, that's the full scope of it was 1342 to 1353. The Renaissance era was 1300 to 1600.
So yeah, that's about right. Then I mean, it started like right after.
The Renaissance art period. I mean, that was a huge time in just creative.
But you want to know how many people I've talked to online that I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, I'm painting. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're sitting at home painting.
Well, you're thinking about all these people that are sitting at home
And-
playing their guitar and singing and just uploading it to Facebook, like
Yeah.
a Facebook Live.
Yeah,
That might get people that have gotten out of the music scene
back
into it.
And
you
that's
know?
kind of where I've been. I mean, we were talking about playing music, and now it's like I really want to play music again. Especially after, me and Mark jammed here the other night. First time I had picked up a bass guitar in probably, God, 7-8 years or more. First time I'd even picked up a bass guitar. We jammed the other night, and I was like, all it takes is that one little
It takes a spark to
thing to
start a
get that-
fire,
yeah,
man.
and
a
you're
fire
ready
can
again,
a
dude.
fire can
So-
spread. Man, I just had this pulled up, and we think this is bad. Like, not trying to downplay
Yeah.
this that we're going through is a terrible thing, and it's affected a lot of people, and it's really bad. But the Black Plague killed 1/3 of the earth.
Yeah.
I mean, now,
200
granted, population was way less than it is now. But
deaths
still,
from 75 to 200 million in Europe and North Africa. That's just
Yeah.
in one continent. That's just on
Yeah.
one continent.
1 in 3 people died.
Yeah.
Like, if there was 3 people here, one of us would be dead.
Yeah.
At least one of us.
Yeah.
At least.
Exactly.
That's,
And this, I don't see it as being, we're not in a plague. I get that.
It's a
We're not
pandemic,
It's a
definitely.
pandemic, but we're not in a plague.
And I don't
Right.
want to downplay it because it's really scary. To me, the scariest thing about it is how it affects different people. Because they say, well, you're really in danger if you're old, and statistically that's true. But there's old people that get it that don't even have. Like,
Yeah.
I know of a guy. One of my mom and dad's friends is an older guy. He got it, and he was like, it
Didn't
didn't
bother.
really. But
Yeah.
there's young people that get it, and it just takes them, kills them.
Yeah.
And you don't know if you get it. You don't know what level it's going to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
It's likely that
Well,
if
have you
you're,
watched the
it's likely
thing-
that if you're old or a smoker or in bad shape,
know-
that it's
I
going
don't
to
wanna
be worse,
get
but not
too-
necessarily.
I don't want to get into too much politics or conspiracy theories or anything, but have you seen where the doctor came out from California, the med clinic doctor, and he says that the flu this year is going to take out so many people because people are killing their own immunities by wearing these masks and not going out and staying so clean that they're killing their own immunities. So the flu is going to be like really bad come October or
Well,
November.
I hadn't heard that, but I mean, there's
But-
definitely going to be some blowback because it's like if you get a really bad infection, right, and you get hospitalized and put on like intravenous antibiotics, so like
Yeah,
strong antibiotics, it is going to help you, but it's also going to hurt you.
in the long run.
You have good bacteria
same
in your
thing
body
is-
that needs to thrive. And if you're constantly putting hand sanitizer on your hands, yes, you're killing a potential bad thing, but
You're killing your immunities too.
there's stuff you need
Yeah.
to be there.
for your body to become
It's not
immune.
stopping me from doing it. You know, I'm using more hand sanitizer and stuff now.
Me too. But
Which I always keep hand sanitizer in my vehicle. I didn't use it like I do now. Now,
Well,
if I
during flu
go
season-
inside a store somewhere or get drive through or anything that somebody else has touched, the first thing
yeah.
I do,
Oh yeah.
I got a bottle
Like
of
those
Purell.
buggies, yeah. I did
I
that
I
myself.
squirt it on my hands and I rub it in my hands every time. I
Well, now,
haven't
during
worn a
flu
mask
season,
in
I've
public,
always-
probably just because I don't have a bunch available. But one of the times I went to Walmart, I did wear gloves. I don't know if that helped or.
Well, you know, me
I mean,
working in
it didn't hurt.
merchandising, like I'm in retail, you know, so I was even every year during the flu season, I'm around, 1,000 different people a day, or possibly pass
Yeah.
by 1,000 different people a day. Well, the thing about that is I've got 4 kids. They're all in school. So during flu season, we do at my house, I mean, not even before this, but at my house, we do, I keep a big, huge bottle of Germ-X right by my front door, in my kitchen.
Yeah.
And when my kids walk by, it's like, get you a squirt of that Germ-X, and
Right.
and I got Lysol. I got a big thing of Lysol that I spray,
That's something that's hard to get right
and
now.
yeah.
The toilet paper
Dude,
thing isn't bad right now,
it's-
but the Lysol thing is.
Well, one thing I did today is like I walked down because a lot of the stuff I had to buy, I told you I went to Walmart today, and a lot of the stuff I had to buy was like just home supplies, like trash bags and cleaning stuff and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So I go down the cleaning aisle, and it's still like almost, like there was like maybe 4 bottles of bleach on the shelf, and like they were the small bottles. They wasn't, none of the gallon bottles were still left, And I get on down to where the Lysol and stuff is, and even the Lysol, like not the spray Lysol, but the Lysol cleaners,
Yeah.
like all that was
The
gone.
wipes.
Yeah, the wipes,
Yeah,
everything.
luckily,
like,
I actually had a pretty good supply of those before this happened, but I'm
I
starting.
did too. I had
I'm
some
starting to get
Lysol
low.
myself,
And I've never been a huge germaphobe, but here's one thing that I've always done. Just I don't know why I've always done it, but I'm not a huge germaphobe. But when I go to open a door, like any kind of a door, like the kind going into a store or a
Yeah.
refrigerator handle,
Yeah.
I grab it in a place where like other people haven't
Yeah,
grabbed
have
it.
it. I do
like
that.
I grab
I
it in
do
like a
that
weird
too.
place, like at the bottom or something.
Well, how do you open a
Because
bathroom
you can see
door?
like the handle, the handle's worn in one spot. I'm never gonna touch that spot.
Yeah.
Because a million
I'm
people
kinda
have
that way
touched that
too.
spot.
And like if I go to the bathroom, like I'll wash my hands and I'll keep my
Keep
paper
the towel. Yep.
until, like, a lot of places have figured out,
They
if
keep the
don't
garbage
want a
can
paper
right by the
towel-
door, yeah.
either that or you're gonna have paper towels.
I've
through the
always- I've
floor
always
right there.
done
I've
that.
always done that.
Yeah.
And there's actually an invention, and like I've been in a couple of convenience stores and stuff that's got it, but there's actually like in the bathroom they've got this little hook on the bottom of the door now.
Oh yeah.
Where you can grab it with your foot and open it. And I've
Hmm.
noticed a lot of convenience stores have that. It's like a little hook where you can just stick your toe up on there and pull the door open.
I'm also bad
where you
about,
don't even have to touch
if,
it.
If they're like a green bathroom and don't have any paper supplies, they just have the air thing. I might grab the bottom of my shirt and grab the door.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, I'm that way too.
Um,
And I'm like you, I'm not even a germaphobe, but it's just like, a bathroom to me is different. It's like, okay, I'm not a germaphobe, but I am a nastyophobe.
Yeah, because there's some people you don't know what other people have done. in
Yeah,
there.
I mean, you see
So
people
there's
all the time, and
There's some people that are normal. There's some people that are neat freaks, and then there's some people that are nasty.
Yeah.
And all of them have been in there.
What about the sink? Like, I know, like, Walmart and a lot of those have the auto sinks. But, like, how do you cut the water off? Like, I use my elbow to cut the water off.
I
Like,
think
I'll, like,
I
if
think
somebody
I've-
washes their hands or something. But the
most of the
nasty
ones
people,
I've been to
if
lately
you think about
have
it,
the auto, but it seems like I'd use the paper towel for that too.
maybe so. Maybe I did that, too.
I need to notice next time. I'm so used to just to being the auto now.
But at least you think, okay, it's a sink,
they at least wash their hands.
But they just
Why
didn't
would they
wash
just-
their hands when they cut it on.
Why would they just?
So you
Why
kind
would
of got both sides.
Why would they
of
just
it
piss
there.
on their hands and rub it on the knobs and leave?
Yeah. But then again,
It's
they
like if
did
you
just
dry off
piss.
with a dirty
They got
towel.
dirty- yeah.
The good thing is it's not that dirty because they just dried off after getting out of the
Clean
shower.
hand. Yeah,
a clean
same
body.
day. Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's not cool to put your face where somebody's ass has been, but at least it was clean.
But at least it was a clean ass.
Yeah. It's not like they dried off after being dirty before they showered.
So we had plans to talk about stuff.
Oh, but by the way,
kinda,
this is the disclaimer I have to give. This podcast is not even a decent source of information for anything.
Oh no,
Like
we don't
when
even.
it comes to health, science, safety, or even good information, or even entertainment value, we're not.
We suck.
We're not an enriched.
You call
source.
us and tell us a rumor, we're putting it on the air next time, man.
Yeah,
We
we're just a
don't-
couple of dummies that like to talk shit and
Yeah.
record it. That's all we are.
But like, yeah, if you send us a rumor, we'll probably sell it as fact next week. You
I
know,
heard.
it's-
Another
Yeah.
thing I've been noticing even more and more lately, because of everything, is shortened, like abbreviated seasons for shows that we like, and delayed.
Yeah, it was
Movies,
Walking Dead was so
they
weird
keep
because it
pushing
cut
movies.
off in a weird spot.
Yeah, I rewatched that episode like 2 or 3
And there's
times,
no
thinking
climax.
I wasn't caught up. Yeah,
And it's just like, okay, well, I get it. They're saving some for when they come back, just in case they haven't filmed anything by
Yeah.
then, or can't film anything. Like TV, I think we're gonna start seeing a lot of reruns, man. And
dude. I mean, look at Monday Night Raw.
or
It-
maybe like some of the animation studios.
that
can
last
still
Monday
work.
Night Raw was rough, dude.
We may get a lot of animation.
You remember they had that
People
one
doing
match for like
animation
2
from home.
hours?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was like 3 versions
Like-
of the same match.
It's like
It was the
WWE
same
said,
people
"Hey,
stayed
what
out there."
wrestlers live like right down the road from the performance
Yeah,
center? Let's
and
just
give them a call. Like, hey guys, what you doing tonight?
we need you on TV.
You want to
again.
be on Raw tonight? Like, yeah, sure. How many matches we doing? 7.
Who's your opponent? Who's our opponent? Oh, the same people that live,
Yeah, that we had
live on the
last
other side
week.
of
Yeah.
town there.
Your neighbor right there. He's a block down. He needs you to come by and swing by and pick him up on the way.
Yeah, it's
Right.
getting pretty rough, man. I mean, the
Yeah.
WrestleMania stuff was pretty good because they had booked so many big things to happen leading up to it, so you were okay there. But once WrestleMania ended, it was like, ooh, this
Yeah.
isn't that
Well,
easy
this
to
is another
watch.
thing too. It was like we were talking about the podcast tonight, and we were like, okay, well, a lot of this podcast is us talking about entertainment stuff, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing going on, you know. So it's like there's
Like
only
I said,
so
just delays
much.
and
Yeah, I mean, we even pull up, like, sometimes we'll put up, what is it, Den of Geek,
yeah.
and then, like, Nerdist and stuff like
comicbook.com.
that.
I actually got
And-
something from comicbook.com I was going to share.
But we pull those up, and it's like, what's happening? You know, it's like, but, so, like, right now, we were talking earlier, and we were like, well, what are we going to talk about tonight? You know, and we said something about D&D because that's the only thing we've done for entertainment. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons at my house, and I guess we can go over some of that. There's
Yeah,
plenty of us to talk about for that. And then, like Mark said, he's got some stuff pulled up, so we at least do have a little bit, you know, to keep you guys from
I had
being
like
so bored.
just like 4 things in my notes, and that
we just covered
that's
2
one
of them.
Yeah.
So we got a
So the D&D was
long
part
way
of
to
that.
go.
I'll say this: I got to give you a huge shout out and like major kudos because, man, you had your hands full in that battle we did. We did. That's the biggest battle I've ever been a
yeah,
part of
last Sunday on
in a
D&D.
campaign, and you had so many NPCs.
Well, now I did
to
kind
keep
of
up
cheat.
with.
Some of that was percentage
But
stuff that I
still-
just rolled, you know. But some of it was me keeping up with monsters and NPCs and stuff. Some of
Yeah.
it was kind of tough.
There was a lot of monsters, and there was like different classes of monsters.
yeah.
Like you
So,
had the basic ones, and then
Well,
the
here's
higher
the-
level.
Here's the thing, and we're not.
They would come in
sponsored.
waves.
We're not sponsored by them, so y'all don't. I mean, but it's. I'll go ahead and say that it's really cool to have that D&D Beyond. But even with D&D Beyond, I had like 6 pages open on my laptop that I was
Yeah.
flipping back and forth to, and it was like, okay, well, what do I got to do? And then I had like 6 pages pulled up, like 6 different tabs that I was flipping back and forth.
Another thing that really
but D&D
helped.
Beyond does, man. That's like that thing's a miracle, man.
Another thing that really helped keep things straight was that having that graph paper with the glass on it, and you had the dry erase markers,
Yeah.
marking where everything
I love
was.
that stuff too, man.
And we had the minis, and some of the monsters were like dice, but you used different colored dice for the different monsters.
Yeah.
Like, because I've been a part of some D&D battles before they got really messy because we were just drawing on notebook paper, and you're like, okay, what's that?
Well,
little,
now we've done that too.
what's that
yeah.
little squiggly thing? Is that a wave or is that a snake that's attacking us?
Yeah,
like,
what is it?
Is that a
You know.
bird? Like, I don't even know.
Well, that's why I try to keep up with, like, we've got that whole bag, and it's just got your regular 6-sided dice in it. Well, it's got like 100 red ones and like 100 white ones, just plain white 6-sided dice in them. So it was like, okay, I can use the white ones for the good guys, the red ones for the bad guys. We don't need them, because even with miniatures, like all those miniatures start to blend after a while. If you've got that many out there, I mean, it's just like, okay, which one are you? And you're having to sit there and search to find your miniature.
Well, it's also cool that they had some minis that matched the monster you were playing.
That is kind of cool.
Because there's been a lot of times where I'd be like, now, which one's the snake lady?
And we knew it.
But he actually had a snake lady.
Yeah,
and he put
we
it
did
on
have a Marilyn.
So I didn't have to keep asking, well, which one's the snake lady and which one's the forearm guy?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
That's not a sentence I thought I'd say today.
I've never been I've never DM'd a whole lot. Like over the last 15 years, 10 years at least. I haven't been the Dungeon Master a whole lot. So now it's like I kind of found myself to where I'm kind of in that role for a little while. So I started watching a lot of gaming online, like a lot of people playing. And I had started watching that one with Deborah Ann Wall, the hot redhead from True Blood.
Yeah.
Like she does she's really good at DMing. Like she has her game online. Well, then I found Critical Role, which is probably
That's always a good one.
The biggest and best.
Yeah.
It's probably the biggest and the best. I mean,
Like they have celebrities come on there and play
I don't
D&D.
want to. Well, I want to get back into this later because I want to talk about Matt Mercer and ask you about the Mercer effect. But anyway, I've got into there and I'm trying to learn stuff to make me a better DM. You know what I mean? Because we're not the kind of group that'll do accents and stuff. We're not that kind of group to where when we role play, we do accents for our characters and stuff. We're not that kind of group, and I don't expect us to be that kind of
We're
group.
the far extreme away from live action.
That's what Critical Role is. I mean, it's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 people that are voice actors for cartoons. So that's what they do for a living is accents and voice acting. So of course they're going to have voice acting, when they're doing their character, and but we don't do that, So I'm trying to do it to where I get to stick to our normal roots, where we're not voice acting, but I'm trying to do it where, I still want to learn. I always want to learn to make the game a little bit better. So, but later on, I want to get into something. I want to tell you about what they call the Matt Mercer effect.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you what you think about it when we come back. But we'll take a break first. And
I'm not just Googling shit. I was looking up something to talk about on here. I didn't want you to think I was just.
I need to.
Not listening to you.
Oh, I know, but I need to.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. I was making sure that Rick and Morty comes back tomorrow. I don't know when this will air. Probably around.
Well,
Well, I don't have anything else to do, so it'll probably air earlier than normal.
It's like sometime later tonight. We'll I'm bad, but I've watched a lot of Rick and Morty, but I've got to go back and start it over.
Dude, I love that show.
Because I played it on.
I love it so much. I've studied episodes.
Well, I've played it when I started watching it. I watched it on Hulu. And so I would get to doing other stuff, or I might fall asleep or something if I turned it on at night or something. So it just kind of kept going and going and going.
It's better to go back and watch it.
So I do need to go back and watch it.
It's only a 20-minute show, but it takes 45 minutes because it's got so many commercials.
Yeah. So if you can go there and watch it on Hulu
you
or
can
something.
blast through them.
Yeah.
In an hour, you can have 3 of those bad boys.
And that's what I want to do. I just want to go back and start over. But I mean, I've seen to me, I think the 2 that stand out, I've seen the best 2 episodes of the entire show. 3 episodes. I've seen 3 of the ones that I know that everybody talks about. The
Szechuan sauce one is definitely a big one for me. It was a season premiere from.
I've seen it.
Season 4. I get my seasons mixed up. It may have been 3, but it was the season premiere. It was one where they talked about the Szechuan sauce. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's the one we watched here last week.
Oh, I watch it all the time. One where he's in a simulation. I don't know which one that is, but that's such a good one.
And then I like the one with the dogs, where the dog.
Yep,
that was cool. That was one of the first ones I've seen.
Oh, they're coming back this season. I saw the season premiere trailer. and it's got those robot dogs. They were fighting
Cool.
robot cats.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
There's a funny tie there. Dan Harmon, is that his name? That wrote,
Something Harmon, because I started
wrote Rick
watching
and
that
Morty?
documentary, Harmontown,
he
or Harmon something.
pitched a show to a network about doing a whole show based on those
Oh, the dogs.
the dog robot people, and they didn't.
You know,
they
he
didn't.
did,
They didn't pick it up. And in the show, I didn't realize this. In the episode they did with those, they make a little comment about that it would have been a good show or something like that.
Well, I watched his. I had watched a little thing online about him, and you know, he's got a lot of haters. You know, like
really? Why would you hate him? He
well,
made the Community and Rick and
in
Morty.
Hollywood, he's got a lot of haters because he's got he's one of those He's one of those
Yeah, that's
kind of
him,
like
Dan
a no nonsense kind of guy, and he cusses a lot, and he's real brash about everything, and
He speaks his mind for sure.
but he's also, what is it, autism?
Yeah, Community. He did Community.
Yeah, he did Community. But Harmontown, I watched part of that the other night too. After watching,
Where can I watch that at?
I found it on
Is it a
free
show,
streaming
or-
place. It's a documentary. It's about him. But he had autism. Is it autism or Asperger's that he's got?
I don't know.
It's one of the two. And, you know, he was struggling with that. So he has this kind of no nonsense attitude. But like him and Chevy Chase, like, dude, they got into each other's throats. And I don't know the details of it. I'd have to go back and listen to it and stuff. But
You know, I heard a little bit about that during the Community thing. That's one of the reasons Chevy Chase quit,
yeah.
because he wasn't on the last 3 seasons or so. Dude,
Well,
that's
you
a
know,
great
they
show. It's
swapped
on
Community,
It's on
too.
Netflix now.
Well, they finished it on Netflix. They actually had
they finished
dropped-
it on Yahoo streaming.
Or it might have been.
Yeah.
It was something. I know they just didn't finish on the network, you know.
Harmontown
But, I mean, Troy and
is a
I
weekly
bet they're
live
like-
comedy podcast. No, that can't be it.
Harmontown is it's just a documentary on him. I've looked it up. I can't remember.
It came out in 2014.
Yeah, because I think it was before.
What is this show? Where the hell I can watch it?
Well, now he has a podcast too. Like he has a podcast called
It's free on YouTube, according to this.
Harmontown, I believe is the name of his podcast too. Or something. I can't remember.
Let's watch that tonight.
Yeah, that's his podcast.
Like when we get back,
Harmontown.
we're going to get some
But
food.
there's
When
a-
we come back and eat, let's watch that.
We'll do that, man. But let's take a break and do that, man, because I'm afraid all of our restaurants are about to
It's almost
close
8:30.
because
And I
everything's
think a lot of them
closing.
close at 9, so if we're going to call in an order. By the next time you hear us, we'll be like all
Full
tired
blooded
and fat and burping, and
Yeah,
might cut one.
I think a fish plate sounds good though, man.
I could do a fish plate.
That sounds really
A
good.
small one. Those large fish plates are too much.
Yeah, I don't do a lot.
I got a large fish plate when I went to my parents a couple weeks
But
ago.
I haven't ate today.
And I was really hungry,
And-
so I was going to eat the whole thing, and I was sick for 24 hours.
Hey, you'll be proud of me. I've started back working out, dude.
Oh,
I've
that's
actually
good.
hit it pretty hard these last 3 days. And
I've done 2 workouts since this all started.
man, you'd be proud of me, dude.
But I have been more
But
conscious about what
I
I'm
haven't
eating.
eaten 2 days.
Says the guy that's about to get a fish plate. I have been more self-conscious about.
Well, now, see, I'm the other way around. We have the opposite problem. Like, my problem is I don't eat. And if I start working out, I've got to eat, or I'll start, because
Yeah.
I'm one of them, I lost 16 pounds in a month the last time I started working out. That's bad. I can't go back, and I'm just now back up to normal, or I'm a little bit above normal right now. So I definitely don't need to stop eating for sure, cut back on eating. I definitely need to start getting more protein back in. And even then, when I said I lost 16 pounds, I was drinking protein shakes, like muscle mass protein shakes every night, dude. And still, I just ended up losing weight. So
You may have to do like those actors do that, the actors that fatten up for roles. They'll melt ice cream in the microwave and drink it.
I may have to, but
You
I
may
put
have to do
ice
it-
cream in my.
You may have to do a dirty
well,
bulk.
I mean, I put ice cream in my protein shakes though most of the time.
Throw a
So-
donut off in that bad boy. I mean, that's not nutritious.
I mean, I
but
throw Oreos
You're
in
trying
there
to get
sometime
calories
for-
in.
Yeah, I mean, but that's me. I'm trying to gain weight because I work out hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my workouts are hard. Like
I've seen,
I'm not like
I've seen
not like
bodybuilders.
P90X type hard or
I've seen
whatever it's
bodybuilders
called.
that'll
But
get really sugary cereal and just dump it in the blender with their protein
Oh, yeah.
shake.
I mean, it's
Like I said, that's not nutritious, obviously, but it's a different thing when you're trying to gain weight because most people are trying to lose weight.
like, I mean, my workouts, I'm not just sitting there wringing wet with sweat when I get done. But when I do go to working out, like, I'll do my basic, like, muscle type workout. But then, like, when I really start back, I'll be going a mile, anywhere from a mile to 5 miles of walking again, you know? And that's when I'll start losing weight if I'm not careful.
Now that we've talked about food and being nutritious and eating right, let's go get some deep fat
Let's
fried
do it.
fish.
Let's go
and
get some
hush
fried
puppies and
fish
French
and hush
fries
puppies
and
and French
and a
fries.
big slice of buttery
We might
toast.
get a salad though, so we can say we ate something healthy.
No, we'll get a Diet Coke.
a Diet Coke and a salad.
We're
to
drinking
go
light
with
beer.
it.
We'll be good. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
As I promised, we are back. And as I promised, we are fat.
We did eat, didn't we?
Shoot, I made a happy plate. I'm glad I got the
Oh,
small.
I ate all the fish. I couldn't eat, like, man. Okay, so here was our problem is the place we went, they were out of hush puppies. So
You
it
know-
kind of sucked because both of us was wanting hush puppies, too.
As soon as you said hush puppies, I remembered this podcast is listened to in several countries.
And they might not, some people probably
They
don't
have
even
no
know.
idea what we're talking about. What's a hush puppy?
But they were out, dude, and that kind of sucked, so. But, anyway, they gave me, like, a whole damn plate full of fries because they were out of hush puppies.
Let's see what happens if
Man.
they Google hush puppies.
Yeah, what is it say? Hush puppy. They've got recipes.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a southern.
I wonder what kind of countries. Like, wonder what. Well, it's like, do you know what poutine is?
No.
Like poutine, it's good. Like, I love poutine, but it's just not like most of the time around here. If you say something about poutine, like they're like, "What's that?" You know, and it's.
I like
mean,
that.
it's fries with
That says
gravy and
deep
cheese,
fries-
basically.
Deep fried southern hush puppies. You don't have to put southern in there.
Nah, they're all gonna be southern. Vicky's
funny.
hush puppies, like it was one.
But yeah, so they were out of hush
But
puppies.
it's like
so they
if I
just
ask you about
loaded us
poutine,
up.
you know.
They loaded us up on fries, big
Man.
time. But in England, they call fries chips
Chips
and
yeah,
chips crisps,
yeah.
which actually makes more sense if you think about it.
And then there's biscuits and scones and because a cookie's a biscuit, right?
I don't know.
I think a cookie is like a biscuit, what they call a biscuit.
What do they call crackers?
And then there's crumpets. I'm not sure what crumpets are. I don't know.
I know. I used to date this girl that lived in Las Vegas. Well, she was from Vegas, and we would go back there and visit. And just out of habit, we went to an Applebee's. Well, we got Applebee's
Yeah.
here everywhere.
Yeah.
But out of habit, they were asking, what do you want to drink? And they went around the table, and I said a sweet tea.
Yeah, I did that in Orlando. Like I
And
was in Orlando.
She
and-
brought me this little tiny a teacup on a
Full of hot
saucer
tea.
with hot raspberry tea.
Yeah.
That was my tea, and
Yeah.
I was expecting like the Southern style sweet
yeah.
tea in a big old cup with
Well,
ice.
I went
and
to
lemon.
Orlando. We went to Orlando, and like every restaurant I went in, like, cause that's what I drink at a restaurant. I don't drink sodas that much, and cause I just don't like fountain drinks, man. Like fountain sodas. So every restaurant we went into in Orlando, I was like, "You got sweet tea?" Like, no. Like they were just like nowhere had it, and they were like, "Oh, we can bring you sugar." I was like, "No, that's not the same as sweet tea. Like you can't put sugar in tea, unsweet tea, and make it sweet tea. Like that doesn't, because the sugar doesn't really. You just
'Cause
end
it's
up with
cold.
like the last drink
Yeah, it's
is
super
all
sweet,
sugar,
yeah.
and that's it. But the rest of it's just unsweet tea until you get to that last drink." So anyway, I was just like, "What have y'all got?" I finally asked this one lady. I was like, "What have y'all got against sweet tea?" It was like, nowhere I've been has it. But then there was a guy here too from Florida, and I said something about we were going to go out to eat before he left. He was with my cousin, and they had come in from Florida, and that guy was from Florida, and I said something about us going out to eat. I said, "Well, we'll go get a hamburger steak," and the guy was like, "What is a hamburger steak, man?"
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
That's a
"Oh,
Southern
dude," I had to
thing.
explain it to him. We went and got one. He loved it, dude, but he had never even heard of a hamburger steak. Like he didn't. Like I'm sure we got listeners right now that's never heard of a hamburger steak. It's like
Hamburger steak and gravy.
and gravy with
What about
onions
meatloaf?
or-
Is that a universal thing? Not
I
the
think
band.
that's more of a. I think that's more of an American thing, anyway. I mean,
I know, like in the UK and England, they drink tea like we drink coffee.
yeah,
Like they drink tea.
yeah.
Which I love some Earl Grey, man. You ever drink Earl Grey?
I can't get in. Like,
Have
well,
you tried it? I'll
now
give
the
you a-
only time I've tried
I've
it, I
got
made it at a
plenty-
hotel.
I've got
so-
plenty in there. I'll give you some to take home with you.
But now there's some green.
It's good for like a
teas.
late afternoon.
There's
pick-me-up.
some green teas that
Like
I
the black tea is really good because you basically drink it like coffee. 'Cause
And what we
it's
what we
close to
drink is
coffee.
orange pico.
But what's weird is they put milk in it, which I just cannot picture.
Yeah, and honey and stuff.
I put like agave nectar in mine to sweeten it a little.
I do
which is
honey with
basic.
everything.
Well, agave
Like-
nectar's tastes like honey.
Other than
It's
my
just-
sweet tea, it's sugar, but
it's like honey, but it's a little more healthy. I think it comes from the cactus plant.
yeah. But I do honey and everything. It's like my coffee. I put honey in it. I don't use sugar in my coffee. I use
I don't
honey.
put nothing in my coffee.
I can't drink black coffee. I've tried. I mean, now the kind that I drink is that French vanilla. You know, that's my favorite coffee. And I've tried to drink it black, and if I could drink any black, I could tell you that would be
but it's
it.
French vanilla, so it's not black.
What it is, it's not like sugar. It doesn't have any. It's got a flavor. It just doesn't have sugar in it. I mean, that's what our tea that we drink is orange pico tea.
This place I used to
And-
work, we would get up real early in the mornings to go do installs, and like we drank coffee out of necessity, not out of pleasure, and we were always out of something.
Yeah,
You know, I
you're
used to put a
that
bunch of
early in
shit in
the
my
morning.
coffee.
No, I
But
will.
we were always out of something, so I started drinking black coffee just because I needed the pick me up, and then it's surprisingly how quick I got used to it, and now I can't imagine it any other way.
Well, you know, the other day I was, I've been broke because of this, all this COVID stuff. But the other day I was out of creamer for a couple of days. Well, so the first day, like I kind of went downhill on it. I had plenty of honey. I had a
Yeah,
big
just
thing of
sugar
honey,
and milk.
right? So, well, not the kind of creamer I drink.
Oh,
The kind of creamer I drink is like it's the Irish creamer or the Cold Stone creamer. I buy that kind. Most of the time, that's what I get, the Cold Stone. I bought some today, some of that Southern Pecan creamer. But anyway, so what I did was I'd put my honey in there, and I started out, I had some milk, the first couple of days. Well, so I used milk, right? Well, by about the third day, I was out of milk, and I was like, I still wanted coffee, so I was like I said, I don't drink black coffee. I just can't, and I can't drink just sweet coffee either. I have to have creamer in it. So I was out of creamer, so I was like, well, what can I do? So first couple of days, I had bought some of that whipped butter, and I took and put me like a little teaspoon of butter in my coffee and honey.
I have put butter in my coffee.
And that was
before.
good. That was actually pretty good.
Irish
Well,
butter.
then somebody else told me, said, oh, you can use coconut oil.
Yeah. I've
So
done
I
that
did
before.
that. And that wasn't bad. And it makes your lips feel like really smooth and soft after you drink coconut oil in your coffee.
Because coconut oil is good for your skin.
Yeah, yeah. So I did that one day. I drank honey and coconut oil, and it wasn't bad either. It's a stretch from drinking creamer. It is, but I could handle it. It wasn't too bad.
Man, I've watched
So-
people make coffee before, and I just look at them like, why even add the coffee?
That's water. Yeah.
No, why even add why even include the coffee in the mix? It's just like it's almost like a sprinkles on the ice cream. Like you the coffee is the least amount of what's in that whatever milkshake you
Yeah,
just made.
yeah. Well, I've always said too is I don't mind. I drink creamer in my coffee. I don't use sugar. Don't use honey if I've got creamer. I use the sweet creamer, but I also do make strong coffee. Now I've got those K cups, so you can't really determine other than the size of what your cup is, that you use.
I went to a coffee bar with
The smaller ones are going to be stronger, but
recently with a coworker, and it wasn't Starbucks, but it was like that. And of course, there was a line, and everybody in the line was just spouting off these. I want a iced caramel latte.
oh yeah, people don't buy coffee at those
margarita, caramel, slide, mud.
places. Yeah, extra
Tarantula.
cream, extra sugar, put some caramel
Like
and
they-
some peanuts on it.
Yeah, like put everything in my coffee except coffee.
Yeah.
And
I
all
do
these
that too, I'm not
huge
gonna lie.
names of stuff that I didn't even recognize, and they put like a mountain of whipped cream, and they would drizzle chocolate and caramel. And don't get me wrong, it looked delicious if you're going to order dessert, which is fine. I would just go get some, ice cream or something. But anyway, it got to my turn, and I was like, I'll take a coffee. And they just looked at me like,
We don't. Whoa, what?
do we have coffee? Like, what do you?
Yeah, like your coffee shop drinks, right? You have
Oh, you
regular
mean a
coffee.
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious coffee with extra nuts? No, just like a
Well-
coffee. And they're like, it's like it literally baffled
Have
them.
you ever?
And they're like, well, what do you want in it? And I'm like, my mouth.
And I'm like knocking.
They're like, well, which flavor of coffee? I'm like, coffee. Just take a cup. Like I literally had to say, take a cup, pour some coffee in it,
They
and
hate it
sell
to
it to
me.
me, and I will drink it. I will pay
But
you for it,
I
and
will
then I will
say
consume
this.
it.
Have you
and
ever-
it was like they had no idea what it was like. I was speaking a different language, and I'm like, this is a coffee shop. I want a coffee.
Well, it's. I will say this, like, you go to like Starbucks, and I'm not knocking on Starbucks because they have some great drinks. I go there. So, but have you ever drank coffee at a Starbucks?
Yeah,
It's
that's
like-
all I've ever drank.
I mean, it's like
mean,
motor,
they're-
but their coffee's nothing to brag about. I mean, their actual coffee is terrible. Like they have all this good fancy stuff, but their actual coffee is terrible, dude. It's like drinking motor oil or something.
the
man.
only thing I've ever gotten put in my coffee was a shot of espresso, which is also coffee.
That is, yeah.
It just makes it, yeah.
Well, now I'm guilty. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't drink black coffee, and I drink my coffee at home. I fix it the way I like it. I found my perfect mix. You know, like I said, I drink the French vanilla, the cheap French vanilla coffee from Walmart. I got a Keurig, so I use the K cups. Well, I buy the cheap French vanilla, and I put the Cold Stone. It's just sweet creamer in it. That's what I put in it, and that's like the perfect mix for me. And every once in a while, like I said today, just out of changing up, I bought some of that Southern Pecan. But now I did buy my original, because that Southern Pecan, I'll drink one or two, and then I'm done with it for a few days. I don't want any more of it. But that Southern Pecan is pretty good. It's like butter pecan ice cream, sort of.
Now, I will tell you this. My transition to coffee with things in it and black coffee was not that painful. It didn't take that long.
See, I can't
But,
do that.
however, my transition from sweet tea to unsweet tea took me like a year. And I'll tell you how
Oh,
I did
yeah.
it. Like when I would go to a restaurant, I would always order a tea. Well, I started ordering, most of the time, a lot of places I
But
would
why
eat for
would you
lunch,
not just drink
they would
water?
just give you the cup.
Over
They would just
unsweet
give
tea.
you, and you make your own. So I would pour like half sweet and half unsweet, because the sweet tea around here is too sweet. I mean, let's be honest.
That's true. I mean,
Like in
I
a
make
gallon of
mine-
tea, they
and I
put,
make
like,
mine
way
sweet,
too much
like, I
sugar.
make mine sweet too. I'm not gonna lie.
Matter
My
of fact,
sweet
a
tea
side story. I
pretty
remember when I
rough.
finally started drinking unsweet tea.
Like you couldn't drink
I
mine.
went to the convenience store, and I was reaching into the cooler, and they had these bottles of pre-made tea. One of them looked one way, and one of them looked the other. So I was assuming, and one of them said sweet tea, so I reached for the other. And I was walking to the checkout, and I looked down. It wasn't unsweet tea. It was extra sweet tea.
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Geez, really?"
And see, that's what I love. See, like
I'm
you're
like,
you're
really?
you're completely opposite of me on tea. Like I don't. Now I will say that I don't
Well,
drink
just drink
sodas.
sugar water from a hummingbird feeder. if
I
you-
don't drink most of the sodas because to me they taste like syrup, dude.
Yeah,
like,
too much sugar.
I get that, man. I
Way
understand
too
that,
much.
and I don't drink a lot of sodas. And if I do, it's the sour ones. Like I drink Meliella because Mountain Dew to me is way too sweet. Everybody will say, well, they're just the same. Mountain Dew, no. Like to me, Meliella is if you took like a Meliella and put like an extra spoon or two of sugar in it and shook it up, that's what you would have was a Mountain Dew.
It tastes like cold pancake syrup to me.
It does.
Sodas do.
I believe you. And I will get a vanilla Coke every once in a while. But even then, it takes me all day to drink it.
Dude, if you
know
go to
what I mean?
Sonic, get a Coke Zero and get them to add vanilla flavor in.
Now, I do the Dr.
That's pretty
Pepper
awesome.
with vanilla at Sonic.
Yeah, I bet that'd be
I
good
actually
too.
did that last night. But, like I said, it'll take me, like I don't drink a lot of sodas. I drink tea. Usually, if they have tea wherever I'm going, if they have sweet tea, that's what I'm normally going to get. And if not, a lot of times I'll just tell them, bring me water, It's
Yeah,
like-
like I said, I would start with the half and half, and then I slowly started weaning down on how much
Do you put
But I finally got to the point where I was doing like a whole unsweet tea and then just a splash of sweet, and I went, "What's that really doing?"
what's
for
the
me?"
point? Yeah.
So I quit doing it, and I got used to it, and it was fine for a while. But now, I still drink tea, but I'll put if I've got it, I'll put stevia in it,
Do you
which is a really good sweetener.
when you
and
drink
it's good for
water
you. It's
at a
not
place?
chemicals.
Do you do lemons? Do you put lemons in your water?
Yeah.
Or lemons in your tea?
Yeah.
See, I don't do that. I
Not
don't.
in the tea, but in the water. Yeah,
I don't do lemon in my water. I just want water. You know, if I'm gonna drink
Yeah.
water, I just want water.
I drink a lot
Like
of water.
I can't. You know those
But at a
little
restaurant,
packs?
I'll usually say water with lemon. I don't know why.
You know, everybody always says, "Oh, well, I was like, you know, it took me a little while. Now I drink water all the time." But back, I just started that about a year ago, a little over a year, about 2 years ago, I guess. I just started drinking a lot of water.
I drink a minimum.
I used to
I drink a half a gallon to a gallon of water a day.
I used to absolutely hate water. Like I could not stand drinking water. And I made myself, because it was hot in the summertime. I was working, you know, I was working in a hot job and moving all day long, and like sodas just weren't cutting it,
God,
you know.
I can
And
imagine being hot and sweaty, and
Even
like chugging a
like-
Red Bull or a Mellow Yellow. Or,
yeah, or,
you know that just don't. That's
and
not,
they just wasn't cutting
doesn't
it.
quench your thirst.
And then, so I was buying Gatorade, and then I was just like, I just don't like Gatorade because it's another product I think is just too sugary for me. To me, Gatorade just tastes like.
dude, look at how much sodium
Sugar
is in
water.
a sports drink.
Well, you're supposed to have that sodium though.
Yeah, if you're playing football and professionally in the Florida sun, which is where Gatorade came
Well, that's
from.
kind of what I was doing at work though. I mean, I had lost a lot. So
well, if you were,
I mean,
yeah,
that's you know.
if you're getting dehydrated, sure, drink a sports drink. But if you're like sitting on the couch eating Cheetos, don't be chugging a whole liter of Gatorade. That's not what that's for.
The thing was, is like some of the stores I was working in had coolers up front. You know, where like most all stores nowadays in the hot summer, like they'll keep a cooler up front, and you can just walk by and grab you a water out of there, right?
Yeah.
So I started kind of doing that every once in a while, and I noticed like drinking water, it kind of cooled me down. And it kept me from being dehydrated and kept me from being thirsty.
Sure,
And it kind of
yeah.
cooled me off a little bit compared to like drinking sodas. You know, so I kind of started slowly getting into it. Well, then I decided I wanted to start eating a little healthier and cut out some of the sugar and stuff. So I started drinking water, and I was making myself drink 120 ounces a day. And I was just, I mean, like, and at first I did have to force myself to drink 120 ounces of water, you know? But then after it's one of those things that once you get used to it, like now, hell, I can get a glass of water and I'm fine, you know? Now, I will say this, that I'm not real big on ice water. Like, I can't, like a lot of people won't drink water unless it's ice water. Well, I don't even drink ice I don't even put ice in my tea. Like, I put ice in my tea as I'm making it, and then I put it in the refrigerator. But at home, when I pour me a glass of tea, I don't even have ice in it.
Hmm.
I mean, it's cold. You know, I put ice in the pitcher when I'm making it because, for one thing, it makes your tea watery. You know, I want tea. I don't want half water and half tea.
I don't guess I really have a huge preference there because when I was lifting weights big time, like really into that, like I need to be again, I would start the day out with a gallon jug full of water, like a milk jug style, but it was a water jug.
You'd freeze it.
I'd put it in the refrigerator, so when I started on it, it was cold. But so that I knew I'd drink a gallon, I'd make sure by the end of the day it was empty.
Yeah.
But so by the end of the day, it was pretty room temperature. Like I might stick it in the freezer throughout the day for a little
Yeah.
while to chill it back down.
Now, I
but
would freeze
for the
bottles.
most part, I would
will
just
fill bottles up and freeze them.
that way I
You
knew
know.
I'd drink a gallon because I would start the day with a full one, end the day with an empty one, fill it back up, put it back in the fridge, and go to bed. I also realized very quickly that I had to have that entire gallon drank by at least 7 p.m.
Oh yeah, if not, you're gonna
You're
be back and
up
forth to
all
the,
night.
Yeah, all night. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was doing a minimum of a gallon a day. I was lifting heavy. I was eating clean,
And water's good for you.
and I
dude.
wasn't drinking any beer at all. Like for 6 weeks, I didn't drink any beer.
Mhm.
One night we were watching wrestling, and somebody had like a 6-pack of Sam Adams. I was like, one beer ain't gonna ruin my. You know, I'm sitting here
Yeah.
watching wrestling. I'm gonna drink a beer. Well, beer's a diuretic, and I'd been drinking all that water. Dude,
Oh,
I
yeah.
finished that beer and I ran to the bathroom and I thought I was never going to stop.
Oh wow.
It was alarming how much I
a gallon
pissed.
of water had to come out.
All
of
that
you.
water came
Yeah.
out of me. Well, not just from that day, from all the other days
Yeah, but up
of
to
being
it,
like
yeah.
super hydrated. I just pissed my brains
But I mean,
out.
there's that. I mean, it's like basically scientific proof that water is like the best thing in the world for you. Like
Well,
it's
we're
good
made
for
of
your
water.
skin. It's good. I mean, it's good for everything. Like they'll tell you one of the main secrets of like, because I'm getting old, you know, so I look up all the shit of how to fight my age. You know, I'm a single guy and I'm 45, so it's like I have to look up all these things about how to fight looking old. You know, so like, but every video you watch and every list you look at. Like there's two things that they always have in common, and that's working out, like doing push-ups and stuff, and drinking water. And it usually says about a gallon a day.
And also quit doing everything
And-
that's good. Like,
well, they don't. Well, it does
drinking
say
and
smoking,
and,
drinking alcohol, all that.
sweets.
Well, the reason alcohol, the thing about it is it dehydrates you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the only thing about alcohol. But then,
Well, it also depletes you of vitamins.
like of
and
course
does a
cigarettes
lot
or
of other
whatever,
stuff.
you know. But
Again, this is not a good source for.
yeah.
Uh,
But I mean,
physiological information.
every one of those videos, they always, no matter what they said, was exercise and drink water. That was two of the main ones. Now everybody says, you know, they do say eat vegetables, you know, that kind of stuff. Like all of them will say that, eat fresh vegetables. You know, that was on all of them. But
Make
it was
sure you
like,
get protein.
but water, but mainly it was water and working out. It's your main two to fight aging. And so you know me, like I said, I smoke. So everything else I do, I try to do at least somewhat healthy.
To
you
compensate.
know,
I guess that's me
I know
with
that's
water,
probably not. I know it's
because
not
I do
making
drink
up
a lot
for
of
it, but
alcohol, so I try to overcompensate by drinking just mass amounts of water
yeah,
to
And
keep my
that's good
organs
because
functioning
the
good.
alcohol
my
will
kidneys
dehydrate
good.
you, so-
Yeah. I don't think I should ever worry about being dehydrated. I guess one thing I'm
Well, I
lucky
will
is
say
that
this: since I've started drinking a lot of water lately, I don't have near as many. I'm not gonna say I used to have a ton of kidney infections, but I would have kidney infections. You know, 4 or 5 times a year.
you gotta
I'd
keep that
have
shit flushed
kidney
out, man. You gotta
infections.
keep the
But since I've
keep that motor
started
running
drinking
clean.
water,
Put
it does.
that good gas in it. You know?
Yeah, flush it out, keep them clean. So I haven't had near as many kidney infections since I started drinking water. So we got completely off topic for an hour.
Yeah, well, when we talk about health and fitness, we lose a lot of listeners. So now that we have one person still listening,
Yeah.
was there anything else you wanted to say about D&D before we moved on?
Well, you know, I said something about the Matt Mercer effect,
Yeah.
and only like the people who are really deep into D&D, and there's the group they call Critical Role, you know, and like they're voice actors. That's their job. It's 7 people that play. That's their job. Well, you know, nowadays there's a whole lot more Dungeons and Dragons players than what there were back when I started. You know, it was
Yeah,
taboo.
I'm gonna assume that this
Yeah.
quarantine made Dungeons and Dragons and gaming in general.
Well,
peak-
it's actually slowed a lot of people down because they're not getting together to game. Because we're not good at social distancing.
I've seen a lot of groups play just through Skype and
well, that's what I was going to say. A lot of people doing
Zoom
that.
and
But anyway,
not Facebook Live, but there's a lot of programs that you can.
they're saying, you know, a lot of people have got into watching Critical Role that's never played D&D, but they're voice actors. It's 7 people. You know, the DM and 6 players or 7 players actually. It's 8 people, and all 8 of them, their job is voice acting. So they do this. You know, everybody's character has a different voice, and they go real deep into their characters. They don't play like we play. You know, they go real deep into their backstories and stuff. And then, of course, Matt Mercer writes for Dungeons and Dragons, you know, and he creates races and characters for Dungeons and Dragons. You know, he's like one of their main guys, right? So anyway, their campaigns are really in depth. They've got voice acting. The characters are really in depth on their characters. They all are voice actors, so they all do accents. And I was saying, we don't do that. We're not that kind of player.
No.
But anyway, there's a lot
Well,
of
you
new.
know what we are good about? If we say something, we specify whether we're saying it in game or out of game.
Yeah, and that's good. You got to do that.
Yeah.
But
But even though we don't use a different voice, we'll say, "Hey, I'm saying this out of game because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
RJ stole those souls." Well, in the game, we didn't know that.
Yeah, only
So if
RJ
I say something
and
about him
one other
having
character
those,
knew that.
I specify that I'm
yeah,
out of,
because you don't know it.
I'm out of game because
in
my character doesn't. I know it, but my character doesn't know
Yeah.
that he did that.
Exactly.
'Cause
And a lot of times
he didn't tell us.
a DM will try to hide stuff.
Oh.
I don't hide a whole lot from the characters. You know, a lot of times a DM will try to hide stuff from the characters, like something like that. Like I would try to hide it from the rest of y'all.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, what I was talking about with the Matt Mercer, they call it the Matt Mercer effect. And I love Matt Mercer. I mean, he's a great DM. I've learned a lot from watching those shows. But a lot of people who haven't played D&D wanted, like, they say they would watch Critical Role, and they would see all these characters and these people, and it's like watching a TV show. It's just done through a game almost, you know? And they do cartoons for their characters and stuff that people do artwork and send it into them and stuff. And so, I mean, it's like real in depth. Well, they go to say they go for their first game, like they finally find a group that's playing D&D, and they go in, and people don't act like that. And the DM doesn't act out every character and have a different voice for every character. And the
Right.
guys they're playing with don't have accents and voices for their characters. And so they're like, oh, this isn't what Matt Mercer and Critical Role was doing. So they'll jump back out. Well, everybody's all like, there's a group that's all down on Matt Mercer. And they're like, well, he's not good for the game because, you know, people are coming in expecting it to be this awesome
Be
thing,
that
like
awesome, and
Critical
it's
Role, and
not.
it's not. They jump back out. But then other people were like, well, okay, let's say 10 people start going in. Like, say 10 people show up, you know, when they start gaming with their normal game, and they enjoy it, and say if 3 or 4 of those enjoy it and stay, what does it matter that the ones who didn't enjoy it get out? You've just gained 4 new Dungeons and Dragons players.
Yeah.
You know, it's good for business in the long run. It's not bad for business, but it actually what got me is it actually hurt Matt Mercer's feelings. Like, man, he's like, I just do the best job I thought I could, you know, and it really hurt his feelings because he's thinking, you know, I don't want to hurt the game at all.
Right.
You know, this is what I love.
think he's
this
done
is what I
more
do.
for D&D than he's done.
Probably
for her.
more. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm absolutely positive he has.
Yeah.
But it did hurt his feelings, you know. And you
By the
hear
way,
that.
Matt, if you're listening, we would love to have you on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
If
He
you're
can even do
listening,
some
and I
of our
know you're
voices.
not,
He can do some voices for us and stuff.
that'd
And
be amazing. I think his dance card stays pretty full.
yeah, I'm sure. And well, they do, you know, on Twitch, the TV. I don't know what Twitch is exactly because I don't have it, but you know, they put out a role playing game. I mean, it's a channel. It's a television channel about role playing games, you know. So I mean, they're doing like some type of game all the time. You know,
Yeah.
they even do games at 9 a.m. You know. But then there's primetime games. Of course, Critical Role, I think it's on Wednesday or Thursday nights. Normally, I watch them online, you know, so I don't know. I'm like way behind. But yeah, I actually stole one of my characters. Kinda the premises of my character from there. I think I told y'all that though.
I'm real basic when it comes to D&D because I like it simple. I like playing.
Well, it's good.
A fighter.
You need people like that.
I used to just play a human. I've kind of been enjoying. I've played 2 or 3 half orcs, kind of like that because I like being a big. You know.
Well, that's
I like,
what
I
I'm
like
trying
being
to.
what did you call them? Not the muscle, but the
tanks.
the tanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like being a tank. I like being intimidating.
And you know, I'm just the opposite.
Um,
I try to make my character. Well, first I will say.
But the thing is, when you take a simplistic character, to me, the longer you play that character, the more nuances come up about the character that makes it unique and individual.
It is. That's true.
Because you're not just another spellcaster
Like, you
or
can
another,
play- you
another
can play,
cleric
like-
or another mage or whatever. You're
Well, like you said, all right. You said you play half orcs, a half orc fighter. Well, you can create on paper 2 half orc fighters, and by the time the game's like, and you say you
when you
stop,
get to like level 6 or 7, they're totally
you take each one, they're completely different. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
they
know.
could look and and
Yeah.
act and feel, and especially with like you said, the subclasses.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
One of them could
Yeah.
be like even spell casting.
Well, you can spell. Yeah, you could have fighters. You know, there's samurai. You know, there's the knights. There's samurai. There's spellcasting. The Eldritch Knights. There's the Purple Dragon Knights. There's the champion. What's what you're playing now? There's the champion. You know, there's the gladiator type. You know, there's all kinds of way to play a fighter. You know, I mean, you could be
Yeah,
an
and I feel like
archer
you
and
have.
still consider
It
a
seems like you have
fighter.
more options now than you ever have.
I like the seriously my favorite, and if we wasn't so deep in the fifth now, if we hadn't already started the fifth, my favorite's always been 3.5 or 3.x, whatever. They just 3.0, 3.5, all your extras, and it was mostly because you had so much content, dude. I mean, I showed you that day. Like, I've got 4 bookshelves just full of stuff, and probably 90% of those books are 3.5, and that's nowhere.
But
that's
this is
a
what I like
drop in
about
the
Dungeons and
bucket.
Dragons. They'll, you know, like you buy a game console and you buy a bunch of games for it, and then a year later they're obsolete because they come out with a new one.
Yeah.
Dude, 5th edition's been around for a minute.
Yeah, it has now.
Like, it's been
I
out
mean,
for.
it
When
doesn't
did they
seem
release
like it
5th
for
edition?
me.
Let's look that up. That's Google.
Well,
That's Google worthy.
I can tell you when we started, we bought the red box. You know, they come out with a 5th edition red box. And that was, it came out in, it was released in 2008.
Wow.
We started playing it in probably 2009.
See, kudos to them.
10, 11. We
It's
probably played it in
2020,
2012.
And they haven't changed everything. We have to go out and buy all new shit.
But even the most recent was released during the second half of 2014. So, that's 4th edition. Wait a minute, 5th edition came out in 2014. So even then, that's 6
Still.
years old.
Yeah.
I mean, for 6 years,
It's not like they change it every year.
They
I mean,
add
we're
to it.
at 5th
What they do is
edition.
they take and they
First
go,
edition was in the
"Here-"
70s. You know what I mean?
know. Well, they'll say, "Here's our edition," and then they'll come out with books to add on to it, which they've done that. They've
Oh,
got
and
plenty of-
modules and all
But
kinds of stuff.
Now, we'll say 5th edition has nowhere near the content that 3.0, 3.5 had.
Well, how long did it hang out?
And, well, it says 4th edition came out in 2004. Everybody skipped 4th edition. Like, I know very, very few people that play 4th edition.
Yeah, somebody told me once that
And,
5th edition was the apology for 4th edition. Because everybody hated it so bad, but everybody loves 5th edition.
4th is just so cut and dry. I think that's why people just didn't like it. It's because it's so cut. Like, okay, you can do this. You can do that. You cannot do this. You cannot do that.
2000?
So-
So 3rd edition was around for 8 years.
Well, actually, I mean, with people skipping 4th, there's still people who play 3rd edition.
Yeah.
Well, now, see, there's Pathfinder, which is a lot of people call that's
3rd edition came out
3.5,
20
right?
years ago.
3.5 came out in 2003. There's a lot of people that call Pathfinder 3.75, which is basically the company they took. They just kept adding to 3.5.
Yeah.
So it's still out. It's just not owned by Dungeons and Dragons anymore. It's owned by Pathfinder or whoever makes Pathfinder. I've never played Pathfinder, but it's still just D&D 3.5, you know, like for the most part. They just keep adding to it. But a lot of people's favorite was 3.5.
Depending
That
on
was
your
my
DM,
favorite.
Depending on your DM and your imagination, sometimes it really doesn't matter
Well, here's what I liked
what
in
edition you're playing.
here's what I liked in 3.5.
Like I've heard DMs say, like I play with 5th edition rules, but I lean more towards, you know what I mean? Because ultimately, whatever the DM decides,
Well, you could take whatever in 3.5. You could
translate.
take that and translate it. For the most part, you can change it over to 5th edition. I mean, your character may be a little weaker, a little stronger. One of the two.
Because your DM has the final say on what happens in the game anyway.
Exactly. I mean, you got people who are rules lawyers and they're going to fuss at the DM like, well, man, the book says this word for word, you know, but you're going to have that every
But
once
in the
a
book,
while.
doesn't it say the DM can override anything
It
in
does,
the book?
basically.
Yeah.
The DM can, you know. But your job as a DM is to make your players happy. So you don't want to
Yeah.
you don't want to come up with rules that's just going to screw your players all the time and piss them off. You know, because you want them to be happy. You want them to be proud.
But if you have
like,
to bend or change the rules to tell a better story, then is it so bad?
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, we played. We made up our own Game of Thrones, and like we tried to use third edition D&D rules, but you can't hardly do that in a world where there's, for the most part, on what we were playing, we had no magic. Like, so a world without any magic, you know,
Yeah.
you can't use 3.5 rules. And then you also had like hit points and stuff. Like your hit points at like say 15th level or whatever, like whatever, you've got 200 and something hit points. Well, battles like that in a Game of Thrones setting, like they're not gonna sit and whack at each other for 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah.
you don't want your characters to have 200 and something hit points. You know, you want your fights to be in and out, you know,
like a war.
5-6 rounds and it's over with, you know. Well, so we just kind of, we didn't even, the DM, the storyteller, I won't even call him a DM because we didn't have any rules. I mean, we were all making up the rules as we went. And we were running a lot of percentages and stuff like that, you know, or 20-siders. Like, I mean, we still use, for the most part, 3.5 rules, but the storyteller had no idea what to roll.
Is that where LARPing comes in?
And
like, I don't know anything about it, but I've just heard it described as like it combines everything.
well, it's just according. I mean, like LARPing is just live action, like where you just instead of like us sitting around a table.
No, I'm using the wrong word. It's not LARPing. There's another word. There's that huge book out, and it combines everything. I forget what it's called.
I don't know.
I don't even know how to Google it because I can't remember. GURPS.
Oh, GURPS. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of. Now I've never played GURPS. Some of my buddies love it, but you can do anything in GURPS. Like you can have a, like say your orc fighter or whatever. Like he can be facing off against a modern age gunslinger or something, or guy with a machine gun or something. I don't know how all that works though.
Yeah.
Because I've never played it. But yeah, it does combine a little bit of everything. Space age,
You
modern.
could have Wolverine versus Jonah
But
Hex.
I do have the D20 modern. Like it's D&D 3.5, and then you but you just modernize it. It's modern day Dungeons and Dragons, and I've got the futuristic book too. So I mean, we've but I like our little group now. We're having fun, man. I hope you guys are having fun. As a
I'm having
DM, it's
fun,
hard to
for
judge
sure.
sometimes.
Yo, yeah, I'm having fun. I wouldn't lie to you. Well, I mean, I probably
You know.
would, but not big time.
Well, I feel like if y'all wasn't having fun, you'd just kind of quit showing up. You know, either that or you'd just kind of make excuses. or
Fall
just-
asleep.
Like, you're not just going to hang out. Well, we do have people who fall asleep here at games, but I don't think that's because of the game. I think it's because people never sleep.
Dude, I get over to your house, and like me and you have one thing in common. We like it cold.
Yeah.
And you've got that AC running 24/7, your window
Oh, yeah.
unit. And
Even
we sit
in the
right,
window, even in
we
the
sit
winter
right in
time.
front of that window unit, and I get
Yeah.
over there, and I get nice and cold. And we usually have food. We always have
eat,
food.
like, all
we
day,
eat,
too.
and the air conditioner's blowing on me, and I'm like, oh, man.
Well, see, I don't get to do that because I'm up and down and talking the whole time. So
yeah.
when I get it when I'm like, if I'm not
as a player,
if
you
I'm
could
not
have some
on
downtime,
your character,
like some
yeah.
real downtime.
That is one thing that we've always tried to do, though. I always try to keep every character involved in some way, to where you want to listen to everybody else's.
Well, that was
part of the
another
story.
thing about that big battle that you handled really well, is you kept it going.
I tried it. I
You
tried
were
to
like,
get it
all right,
going
you did
fast.
this, all right, yeah, you moved it along. You were
I've
like,
tried to.
You did this. Are you doing? Is that all you're doing? Okay, now what are you doing? And then you just kept it going, like not lightning round, but not. Like,
Yeah, because I still want to
it could've
explain
been- it
what
could've
everybody's
easily been
doing.
in that situation with that much going on. That could have drawn out over like 3 sessions.
Oh yeah,
that could have
definitely.
been way too much,
And
and it wouldn't have been as fun.
but I still wanted to get into the whole. I wanted to do a big battle, and it's hard. Everybody who plays D&D, DMs especially, you know that the big battles are tough. If you've got like an army versus an army, that's tough. And this wasn't quite that extreme. There was quite a few,
Yeah,
quite a
there's a
few
lot.
things on both sides of that. Well, you almost have to kind of come up with your own rules, but you also still want to try to. You don't just want to shoot through it. Like, what are you going to do? What are you doing next? You still want to set the scene. You still want people to picture what's going on in the battle.
yeah.
It's like, well, here's the way I look at it. Like, okay, we've got a hexagon mat a piece of glass, some miniatures, and some dice on the table. Well, that's not what you want people to see. You know, in their head, you want them to see
What's happening?
this hexagon map is the center of a city. You know, these dice, these red dice that I had threw out there to you know, instead of miniatures, I had dice out there to throw out demons. Well, I want you to picture demons, not red dice.
Right,
you know, it's not. It's not a video game. You know, I don't want you thinking, okay, this is how it goes. It's what I call sandbox, and I try to make my game sandbox too, if that makes sense. You know the difference? You know what I mean? Like it's a video game term. You know, there's what do they call it? Roller coaster, where you stay on track. You know?
Yeah.
Like you can't deviate from the track. There's that type of video game, and then there's what they're called sandbox, where you can go anywhere and do anything and explore. Well, I try to make my D&D campaigns more sandbox. Like I want you to be able to go do what you want to. I don't want to have to lead you to get to where we need to go. I would rather you say, like, man, I've always said, like, okay, if we're in a city, if we're role playing and we're in a city, and like you're just in say you're in a weaponsmith, and you're talking to the weaponsmith about buying a weapon. Well, if you're enjoying that part of the game, like if you're describing what you want, you know, and you're talking, like if we're role playing back and forth, you know, and I'm playing the weaponsmith, you know, and you come in and we're role playing back and forth, and everybody's enjoying being in town, you know, like I don't want to rush that, you know. I'm not going to say, okay, well, y'all are done in town, let's get out of here, you know. I don't want to rush that. But on the opposite side of that, if you go into a town and you just like, well, okay, we're hanging out at the bar again. Here we are at the bar again. Well, I need to go and buy this, and I need to go buy that. And like, if it seems like y'all are, if too much downtime, I want to try to get you out of there. Like, you know, I want to do the opposite. You know, I was like, okay, they're not enjoying the town right now. Let me get them out in the woods.
Something crazy happened.
Yeah, you know, let them fight. Like, I want you to, I like for my campaigns to be, I don't want them to be all fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's just
because I mean, then there's no reason to even role play.
You gotta do some role play.
I mean,
yeah, you gotta figure some shit out.
Yeah, I mean, if
you gotta make some decisions, and you
like, I mean, we could just take the miniatures and do the fights all the time.
The consequences of those decisions, or the gratification that you made the right decision. You know.
Yeah,
you gotta have choices put in front of you.
If you're playing it like a video, like if the dice and the miniatures, that's the video game side of it. That's what your video game is. Right there, you know, the other side is trying to get to that point, to where that fight is or whatever. And I do like to have a fight, at least if not every session, at least every other session.
Oh yeah, like
but
I
like to have the role plays.
I try to shoot for at least one encounter per session, even if it's a small one.
Yeah, yeah. And so, and I have noticed, like I said, I'm going back to Critical Role here, but that's what they do. They play, like, their campaigns are usually 4 hours long, or they're, you know, each night's usually 4 hours long. And I've noticed they'll do about half of the campaign will be them role playing.
They put the whole thing on YouTube, the whole 4 hours.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a whole thing, but they keep it moving. Yeah. I mean, there's no downtime. But anyway, they spend, like, say, out of 4 hours, they'll spend either the first half of it role playing and getting to an encounter, or the first half may be the encounter, and then the second half may be them role playing. But I've noticed they kind of split it. Usually the encounters take about half of whatever their time is. You know, 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever. Usually the encounters take about half of that amount of time, and that's kind of where we're at. I guess we're pretty close to that. And the first week we didn't have an encounter because
we had to get together. Everybody
was getting together, and that's session 0. I'm going to call that one a session 0 because that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just. Well, I wanted everybody to have their background. I didn't want everybody to just say, okay, y'all all know each other. I didn't want the whole you all just randomly wake up somewhere. Like, I hate those, you know, or just random. And I don't mind you meeting in the bar, but you need to have a purpose for meeting in the bar, you know. It's not just sitting around like, oh, well, there's another adventurer. Let me go talk to him and add him to my party
for no reason.
You know, I try to make it as realistic because that's another thing too. Even though it's fantasy, you want your players to think in reality. you always want. They call it theater of the mind. You know, that's your role playing. It's like I will say this. Like I was talking about that Game of Thrones. Like that storyteller, when we played that Game of Thrones campaign, that storyteller was so vivid. Like he could put you in the mind frame. Like you could see where you were at and what you were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could picture. Like I knew exactly what my character looked like and everybody else around me. And that's why I tell y'all that just about once a week. I'll say, well, explain what your character looks like. It's to refresh everybody what your character looks like, because I want them to be able to picture your character. Because we don't have any artists in the group. If we had artists, I'd have them draw out pictures.
Yeah.
You know, but we don't have any artists in the
Definitely not
group.
an artist. If you told
And
me to
I'm
draw
not
my
either. I mean, it would look
character,
like,
it'd be a stick
like,
figure.
oh, you're a stick man. Like we would all be stick men, you know, but... And no, I'm not either. And I try.
If we have any listeners out there that want to volunteer to draw our characters, we'll be happy to describe them for you.
Definitely. We will send you details on everybody's character.
And with that, we're past the hour mark. Why don't we take another quick break and then come back and bring this thing home?
We
There's
can
still
do
a
that.
couple more things I wanted to bring up
Yeah, I noticed you had a couple
As-
things typed down
as
there.
we wrap up. But yeah, let's take a quick break. I'm sure you need a smoke by now. I need
I
a
do.
refresh on my drink.
I
And,
need something to drink, too.
I need to turn that fan on for a minute because my back
It
sweat
is kinda
is
hot.
kicking in on this leather
So
chair.
now that we've complained to y'all for the last 2 minutes, we're going to do all our all this stuff so we can come back all refreshed and not complaining.
Right on. During our first break, we were eating
Eating.
supper, and we were watching SmackDown. And you know, I gotta admit, I was talking shit about Raw, but SmackDown seems to be okay.
I said that same thing a while ago, too. Like, I've enjoyed...
You know what?
compared
You know what it is? A lot of it
compared to
is
Raw, SmackDown is a whole lot better right now.
because Raw is 3 hours. It's too
Yeah.
much. SmackDown's
Especially
more
right
condensed.
now with nobody being there.
It's more boiled down and less filler. They don't have to do these matches like, hey, we got another hour to fill. What should we do? You
Well,
know?
it's like Raw's running on the C team, too. You know, like the people that's
It seems
out
like
there. that
SmackDown's
they're-
not.
And SmackDown doesn't seem to be. Like tonight, it was Daniel Bryan. You know, he's one of your main eventers. It was Braun Strowman, your world champion, was actually there. You know,
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt.
Which he's got a huge thing going on now.
New Day. You know, that's your other. That you know, what's his name?
Miz,
It just
Morrison, they
been.
were
Miz and
there.
Morrison were there. You know, yeah. It's like it's not Sheamus. You know, since he's got his big return going. Like you're not working on your C team. You're working with your A-listers on SmackDown.
I
Where
know
on
why
Raw,
that is
it
because
just
it's the
seems
same
like,
facility, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
It's the performance center that they're at.
Like right now, I don't see where it would hurt to bring them together. You know, like right now, if you're gonna bring anybody in from one to the other, that now would probably be the time.
That's true. Because I mean,
You
there's some
know.
people that just can't make it there.
Yeah, and if you've got your A-listers all on SmackDown, then swap over. But I also heard that Fox really doesn't want a whole lot
Yeah, they want it
of
separate.
combination. They want to make sure that SmackDown's its own product and Raw is its own product. So that's, I mean, I've heard that Fox Sports doesn't.
But yeah, I
Doesn't
think
want a whole lot of
I've
crossover,
never been a fan
so.
of the 3-hour Raw.
Me either.
Too
ever.
much of anything is too much.
No, I've always said, like, you know, they do NXT on Wednesdays. Like,
Yeah, because
why-
they call it the Wednesday Night Wars. Cause
if you're
that's
gonna
the
do
name-
3 hours, do your Wednesday night or put your NXT on for an hour or something like that. But then they were saying, well, we can't get the sponsorship from NXT that we would Raw, you know. And I get that too, I guess.
Well, you
But-
keep watering Raw down like you have been, and its value is not going to be worth
exactly. It's 3 hours is just way too long.
much. Yeah, I don't want to
mean,
watch anything for 3 hours.
No. I mean, like, even me, I was a huge wrestling fan. Still am some, but I was a huge wrestling fan. And even when I was a huge wrestling fan, like, I didn't want to watch 3 hours of it.
Yeah.
You know, because, like you said, it's going to get so watered down. You know, you're just... when
One
you
thing that
see
ties into
3 people.
into wrestling and the nerd culture stuff. And I got
Oh,
this.
yeah, what
I
you
got this
pulled
from
up?
comicbook.com. There was a rumor going around that Becky Lynch is in talks to play a Marvel character. And they
Did it
did
say who? I didn't see the...
Well, no, it didn't say. It's just a rumor.
Okay.
It's not confirmed. But since there was a rumor, they did this article speculating on what characters she could play. and I'm not gonna name them all off because I've never even heard of any of them.
Tarantula. I have.
Because they're all Marvel.
Even I'm a Marvel person, and I don't even know who Tarantula is.
Uh,
Not sure who Paladin is.
Aladdin, Elsa Bloodstone. That
I
does
can
look
pray-
like her though. Like I didn't recognize any.
Blackjack. I don't know.
Bridget Malone.
Not real sure who that is.
Basically, it was just like it was an article speculating that who she could play, like what role would fit her.
But they're
good.
minor roles, so like that's
Well, she's been in 3 or 4 movies now. She could. I don't know. She wouldn't have to necessarily take a minor role.
dude. It's Marvel. They're gonna make sure that if she does something, she's gonna get the acting. They're gonna get the good scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it takes them.
Well, Marvel is
shots, they're gonna get the
notorious to
good
take
scene.
a C and D list character and make them a star.
Oh yeah.
Like
Definitely.
Ant-Man was not that big of a deal. And
Ant-Man, no, but the biggest one was Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I'm a Marvel fan, and I barely even heard of who
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know him
dude,
by
even
name.
their flagship guy is Iron Man, and he's a household name now. But I couldn't have told you much about Iron Man before the Robert
well, I
Downey
don't
Jr.
know. Now,
stuff.
I was a big Iron Man fan, though, growing up. So
I guess I'm looking through the lens of a DC guy.
well,
But
no,
I just didn't see Iron Man up there
If you
like
think but-
in the same conversation as like Spider-Man and
But growing
the
up,
Incredible Hulk and
But growing
Wolverine.
up, we had. If you think about growing up, and you think about cartoons. Like Iron Man wasn't a prominent character in the cartoons. Neither was like Captain America or any of them, or even Thor. It was Hulk, Hulk, Spider-Man, and the X-Men. That was your cartoons when we were growing up.
Yeah, that's what
you
I
know?
yeah.
And they had appearances. Captain America had appearances in
On your
Spider-Man,
if you made
Iron Man,
if you even
but-
crossed DC and Marvel together and made a Mount Rushmore of superheroes from back in the day, I don't feel like Iron Man would be on it,
I
but
don't
it is
either.
he would
I
be
don't
now.
either. Yeah, oh
I
yeah,
mean, because they
definitely.
made Iron Man. They're
definitely.
like he's Marvel's Batman now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's their guy.
Well, of course, you'd have Batman, Superman, Spider-Man. That would be your top 3. And then now, like you said, it would be Iron Man. Back then, it would have probably been Wolverine,
Yeah,
I guess. Or
X-Men
or
were
like
huge
you said, the Hulk, maybe.
back in the day. Like when I was a kid,
Oh yeah,
man, X-Men were big.
X-Men still got a long way to go, man. They're gonna be huge again. I feel like the X-Men when they start that with X-Men with Marvel's with the cinematic universe. I feel like when they start their version of X-Men, it's gonna be as big as the Avengers. I believe.
Well, it's weird to say now, but Deadpool was a C-list character.
Kind of.
When he came
That's
out.
true. Yeah. I mean, he was a ripoff. Deadpool was a ripoff of Deathstroke.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all he was. It was Wade Wilson and Slade Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just
But
supposed to
the
be a
longer
comedy.
those two characters existed in their own universes, the more different they became. Now they're nothing alike at
Well,
all.
it was supposed to be a comedy parody. Yeah, and now they're like you said, they're nothing alike.
Deathstroke was
But-
never comedic. I've got his first appearance.
No.
He was an assassin, but Deadpool wasn't funny at first. That came later.
That came later. So.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, and then they actually
But yeah, Marvel's good at taking, not creating a character, but taking a character. Like, okay, and I've used this analogy before. Go back to Ant-Man. Ant-Man's the answer to Adam
yeah
in DC.
yeah.
They're like the same guy, basically. He's got a.
I mean, just about everybody has a twin.
But Adam is more like Ant-Man meets Iron Man because his suit does more shit than makes him big or small.
yeah,
But they're like the same thing. If you'd have made it, I mean, I like Adam. I like that character on Legends of Tomorrow a
too.
lot, played
I
by
do
Brandon
too.
Routh. But if you'd have made it, if DC had came out in the midst of all this with an Adam movie,
yeah. How
there's
big
no
go
way it
would
would have.
yeah.
I just don't see how it could have
Well,
gone
it's
over
like
like Ant-Man
Lobo.
did.
Lobo is the version of that's probably too big. Lobo's the comic version of Wolverine. And I don't see a Lobo movie unless it's done just perfect. You know what I mean?
Did you
And
see
the
Lobo
right
in
actor.
Krypton? It was great.
It was. That
Like,
guy
that's
did
the
do a
only reason
pretty
I
good
watched
job.
season
Yeah,
2 of
that's
Krypton.
me, yeah. But
And then they canceled the shit.
Lobo versus
As
like,
soon as I got
Wolverine.
interested in it, they canceled it.
But you're right. I mean, even like we don't like I don't give some of the DC movies as much of a hard time as some people do. But like to me, Suicide Squad was your DC version of Guardians of the Galaxy. You know,
Yeah.
they took a bunch of nobodies and turned them into somebody. I mean, I get that, but to me, the Avengers movie is not even up there with the. I mean, not the Avengers. The Justice League movie is not even up there with the
Avengers.
X-Men, especially the Avengers. It's nowhere near the Avengers.
Well, there's
But I don't think
a
it's
lot
up
of
there
reasons that
with the X-Men
that
movies.
the Avengers are bigger cinematically than the Justice League, and the many factors, but the main simple factor is they took the time to build it.
Yep.
They made you fall in love with each character individually.
Before.
With like some of them had sequels of
Yeah.
individual
Yeah.
movie sequels before they ever brought them together. I mean, and they would kind of tease it, but with DC,
Yeah, you knew it was going to happen.
with
but
DC,
still,
they had one movie to prepare you for Justice League.
That's it.
And it even said Dawn of Justice in the title.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And they didn't even focus a lot on in that one movie to get you prepared.
Every
didn't even
character
focus
should have
that
had at
much.
least one, which Superman did. He had one standalone
Aquaman would have
movie.
been better if it would have came
Aquaman
out.
didn't have-
Aquaman was a good movie.
I love Aquaman, but that should have
But
came out before,
before,
Justice League.
yeah.
Wonder Woman's movie.
They shouldn't even have a Justice League
Did
movie
Wonder Woman
now.
come out before Justice League?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
Introduced her, and of course there still hasn't been a Flash standalone,
No.
which the Flash is a very underrated character.
Like right now, the Justice League movie still should have not come out yet.
No, they should still
Like,
be spitting out,
I mean-
individual movies.
And now the thing is they didn't hire on people. Like Marvel thought way ahead of time and signed people on for a multiple amount of movies. DC didn't do that because they didn't have faith in their own product. So now they're having to take and go back and replace everybody. They don't have a Superman. They don't have a Batman. You know, they're
Well,
having
they
to
do now,
They're
but
already having to
I heard
replace
today they're pushing
everybody.
back production on the Batman.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know they've got them now, but that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
now
well, they're
we've got
pushing
to
back the
get
release
used to
date
a
anyway.
whole new person playing. The only one I remember from the Marvel movies that swapped over was War Machine from one movie to the next, and that was from the first
But
Marvel movie.
they just recasted him.
Yeah, which
What-
is what they're going to have to do with Batman and Superman. But
Well, now they're doing a
I
different
mean, that's
take
your main
altogether.
two guys.
They
I mean,
could have recasted that Batman though.
Oh yeah,
Especially if
I
they
think
went.
so.
They were talking about It was rumored they were looking at John Hamm. John Hamm could have just been Ben Affleck's Batman.
Exactly. I said that same thing, man. Like that
It
wouldn't
doesn't
hurt
have to be a
anything.
whole new thing. It's just a whole. It's just
Well,
a
it was
different
like
guy
the old
playing
Batman.
the role.
I mean, from way back in the day. I mean, you had what three different ones. You know, played Batman. Because Michael Keaton, he played.
The first two.
The
He had
first
Batman,
two.
Batman Returns.
And then you had Val Kilmer, and then you had
Yeah.
George Clooney.
But it was the same Batman.
But it was still same Batman,
just
yeah.
different
for all
actors
three
playing
movies.
that
yeah.
Batman, that version of Batman.
And it's not good to change casting.
It works
But if you've
sometimes.
got to do it, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather you do that than have us go, oh, well, none of this counts. We're going to start right here again and again and again and again. Well, you know, right now we don't have a Wolverine, but like right now is a good time for them to change over. You don't bring back the same Wolverine. You have a whole different universe to pick from.
Well, especially
It
after
doesn't have to
Logan. I
be
mean, that
that
was
Wolverine.
the movie Logan was such a perfect send off.
Yeah, that's
for
the-
that
you don't
version
bring
of
that guy.
Wolverine.
You don't bring him back.
You can't give somebody that perfect of a send off and then bring them back.
Yeah, exactly.
Not nothing. I mean, all respect to Hugh Jackman. I mean, he did the best Wolverine, but his arc is over.
Yeah, exactly.
He had a good beginning,
Yeah.
middle, and end.
If you
that
bring him
story
back
is
now,
told.
you're like, "Bleh." It's like you lose that face value.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think
when
the
a-
only way
It's like
you
when a
might
wrestler
pull it off,
retires and then does 20 more matches afterwards.
if you
it's like, why'd you retire?
the only way you could pull it off, maybe, is if you did something funny with him and Deadpool, because that's already been kind of set up.
Yeah, I mean that's fine too. That's
too. Because that's Deadpool. It doesn't even have to be in continuity.
yeah, and it can be a small thing too. You
Yeah.
know, another small thing. And it's just like that with Iron Man. Like, okay, don't bring Iron Man back. I don't want Iron Man back. He's gone. Like leave me faith in that when the comic book character dies, he dies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like leave Iron Man gone. He's gone in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But if you have a cameo, a flashback, something like that, I'm all cool with that. But do not bring that Iron Man, that version of Iron Man back. You can bring in a new Iron Man, and if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. You know, everybody's going to argue over that. Well, nobody can play Iron Man. Well, nobody should play Iron Man. Nobody should play Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man.
Hey, I just got the low disk space warning. That means we need to wrap this up before we
do,
lose this whole
yeah.
podcast. Because I only saved the first part, and if this hard drive crashes...
Well, I thought we had a pretty decent little episode here, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for us to not have a whole lot of plans when we came out.
No, I've just been saying that we need to do a podcast, and sometimes we're at our best when we don't have I don't know.
And it is.
A dossier.
When
Is that
they're-
the right word? Like a line for line, like notes and...
Oh, and we do have to... Oh, okay. It's back. And then we do have to do... Sean sent a
Sean's got a
thing.
great idea for a podcast.
Yeah.
When we get
And
back to him
I
back
want
over,
to tease it. Can we
we're gonna do
tease it?
Sure, just do it quick.
Sean wants us to do a WrestleMania of all time. Just pick whoever we want of any time, living, dead, whatever. He wants us to do a WrestleMania, and
Like,
I just
build the
think
perfect
that's
WrestleMania.
to build the and everybody. I said 8 matches, just 8 good matches, you know. And here's your perfect WrestleMania. So we definitely got to get that going. I definitely want to do that for one
And
of
I
our.
want the listeners to
future
get involved in
episodes.
that. Our number is 662-305-9783. I'm pretty sure. Call. It's a voicemail line. Nobody's going to answer it. It's just for voicemails. And leave us or email us. Popculture, the number 4real@gmail.com.
Well, we'll just start. We need to start putting the phone number when we tag people and post
Yeah.
the episodes. We'll start putting the phone number in there.
It's on our
So people
Facebook
can do
page
that.
under our
Yeah.
like info or whatever.
But we'll start putting it in every one of our posts too. We'll do that.
Well, thank you so much for listening to episode 137 of
137.
Real Pop Culture. We've been broadcasting live from high atop the first and only floor of the Kill J headquarters at the Kill J Ranch. Love you, bye.
Seacrest out.